Imagine this for a second. It's 2026, and you are starting from absolute zero. No portfolio, no past experience, no secret insider knowledge, nothing. If you had to build a wealth generation system entirely from scratch, how would you actually do it? Well, today, we're breaking down a definitive blueprint that totally rethinks how we approach the market. We're going to strip away all the nonsense and focus purely on what genuinely works. Because look, we see it every single day, right? You log online and boom, you immediately hit a wall of noisy headlines screaming about some stock that doubled in a month, or a random teenager who supposedly made millions. It creates this, well, actually, it's a completely toxic illusion of effortless wealth. And here is the really dangerous reality. The internet is constantly trying to convince you that everyone else is getting rich fast, and you're somehow falling behind. That illusion leads so many beginners to just panic buy, follow social media hype, and ultimately learn incredibly expensive lessons. There's a really stark contrast between what we're sold online and what mathematically works in the real world. On one side, you have internet hype. It's this chaotic scramble of chasing quick profits, panic selling, and reacting to endless noise. It is, for sure, a proven recipe for losing your capital. On the other side, though, we have the blueprint for real wealth. If I were building a system from scratch today, I would literally ignore 100% of the hype. Why? Because real wealth doesn't come from speed. It comes from solid systems, unwavering discipline, and most importantly, time. Okay, let's dive into this. We're looking at a 4-part agenda today. First up, the anti-hype mindset shift. Second, building your financial foundation. Then we get into the smart investor's playbook. And finally, mastering the long game. All right, part 1. The anti-hype mindset shift. It is time to stop trying to get rich fast. Before you touch a single dollar or even open a brokerage account, you absolutely must disarm the myth of speed. You've got to tune out that market noise. The truth is, wealth comes from systems, discipline, and time. You have to accept one undeniable reality right out of the gate. Investing is a long-term game. Making this exact mindset shift before doing anything else acts like a psychological moat around your brain. It protects you from reacting emotionally to the endless barrage of breaking news, the fear, and the panic that the market will throw at you every single day. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to make money before you even understand the system of how money actually compounds. Moving on to part 2, building your financial foundation. This is the crucial groundwork we have to lay before investing. Now, what's really interesting here is that investing while you're financially unstable is incredibly dangerous. Why? Because it leads straight to emotional decisions. And trust me, emotional decisions will completely destroy a portfolio. Notice how we aren't even talking about picking stocks yet. Before buying anything, you have to stabilize your personal finances. We're talking about actively controlling unnecessary spending, deeply understanding your monthly expenses, building up emergency savings, and fiercely avoiding high-interest debt. This shifts the entire narrative. The whole goal is to ensure you never, ever invest money you might need for rent next month. You only want to invest money you can comfortably afford to leave alone. That single rule changes the entire game. Once that foundation is rock solid, the blueprint demands a simple 2-step progression. Step 1, master the basics. You need to know what a stock actually represents so you're not just gambling. And step 2, start small. Not out of fear, but to build your emotional resilience. Your first investments aren't about making massive profits anyway. They're about feeling how markets move. It's about learning what patience actually feels like when your own hard-earned capital is on the line. Which brings us to part 3, the smart investor's playbook. Let's talk about executing your strategy. Now we actually get into the mechanics of choosing where to put your money. And here's the secret. It isn't about finding some complex, mysterious algorithm or the next big thing. It's about focusing on simple, strong businesses that have real products, real customers, and real profits. You don't need to be a Wall Street analyst, but you do need to uncover the story behind the numbers. Is their cash flow healthy? Is the debt under control? Are they actually making money? Numbers tell stories, and businesses leave clues. The better you get at reading them, the better your decisions are going to be. Before you even think about hitting that buy button, I want you to ask yourself one vital question. Would I feel completely comfortable owning this business for 10 years? Really sit with that for a second. Instead of asking if a stock's going to pop next week, ask yourself if you'd want to hold this specific company for a whole decade. This incredibly simple rule acts as a massive filter for bad investments. It forces you to stop chasing short-term price action and start focusing purely on owning absolute quality. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when you commit to that quality over time. Notice how the compounding growth really starts to accelerate as we move from year 1 to year 10? This is exactly why you don't try to time the market perfectly or wait around for ideal conditions. You just invest consistently, month after month, year after year. Consistency almost always beats intensity. Long-term consistency is what allows compounding to step in and work its magic. Honestly, that's where real wealth begins. Finally, part 4, mastering the long game. This is all about patience and ownership. This is where we elevate your perspective entirely. We're transforming you from someone who just trades stocks into someone who views themselves as a business owner. Thinking like an owner means focusing purely on long-term business quality. Real investors, they don't get bogged down asking if a stock is going up next Tuesday. They make a profound philosophical shift toward holding quality assets for the long haul. And when you make that shift, short-term market noise simply stops mattering. But we have to address the hardest lesson of all. Emotional control is your biggest financial advantage. Listen, markets will fall, corrections absolutely will happen, fear will spread across the headlines, and the people around you will inevitably panic. But you're going to remind yourself that market volatility is completely normal. Temporary fear in the market is precisely what creates those long-term opportunities for smart investors. Keeping your emotions in check when everyone else is losing theirs, that is your ultimate superpower. 2026, the year everything changed. If you follow this blueprint, you aren't trying to become rich in one year. You're focusing on becoming smarter every single year because true wealth always follows wisdom. And that wisdom, it comes from learning, experience, patience, and just unyielding discipline. Don't worry about being late to the game, and definitely don't worry about knowing everything on day one. Just start with knowledge. Start with your first smart decision. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Will you let another year of internet hype and market noise distract you? Or will 2026 be the year you finally build the systems that change your financial future forever?